VP, we know that they can do it, and they've drafted as if they do have somewhere else to be in a little bit. We're going to find out if they can execute it properly or if T1 can hold long enough to get their plan in motion. We're finding out together with Moxie and T.
Well, it seems like the name of the game seems to be timings here, Mr. T. And it looks like, you know, VP, they want to go for a very fast one. But will they be able to do it?
Oh, I honestly think they can. You know, if there was like 1 or 2 more stuns on T1, maybe they could take these early fights. But I'm a little bit worried that they're completely relying on like basically Sand King to hit like that best Forest Strike, or maybe the ET with a really nice sleep combo to then, like the panel was mentioning, layering in these bigger spells. But I just wanted to start by, these 2 teams are the 2 teams in the competition where their players are playing the most pubs out of anyone else in the competition. So VP, between the 5 of them, 230 matches in the last 6 days. They're averaging like 8 pubs per day per player. And T1 is just shy by 205. Like behind that, it's like 160. Like these are the 2 teams where their players are just living and breathing in Dota. So hopefully we get to see some really advancements going throughout the tournament.
I mean, we're already seeing some adaptations to this patch. As we've discussed before, we have the Clinkz, who has been really going up in favor recently in professional Dota. We've got this Lycan, obviously, with the helm of the Overlord, very, very popular. But on the flip side of that, you know, we've got the Sand King, which did receive some nice buffs. So I think we'll be seeing some very nice meta Dota. And it'll be interesting to see, you know, what works better here. Is it going to be, you know, this faster pace, or is it, you know, going to end up getting stalled because of the choices over on the side of T1?
Yeah, but that's the nice thing right now with VP's draft, where they offer up this PL pick on T1, but then there's like quite a lot of bans that T1 wants to do. They allow the Leshrac through. So now VP, they have the ability to take that early Roshan, they have the Leshrac Lycan push, they can deal with PL throughout the entire game as they have that Leshrac. So I think VP aren't really too scared of like going into late game either, because they have all the mechanisms. Like sure, they might not have the team fight, but there's not really the stuns like I already mentioned. So this game is very, very even if we get to like 30 minutes plus. It's mainly early on. It's VP's game to dismantle the map early on. But like you mentioned, we saw how Sand King, very popular hero right now. He can stand in front of towers, he can prolong the engagements, and ET, again, very, very strong at that as well. So T1, they're going to have to play it, like, put on a masterclass of not really picking fights, but deciding which ones they actually want to take.
That's definitely a fair point here. As we can see, a little bit of trading going on, but mostly everyone just sitting back, farming up, trying to just put out a tiny bit of harass if they're able to do it.
The good thing here for specifically the mid lane, it's like Lina v Leshrac. The Lina is going to fare really well here, because of course it's a ranged hero, and it's one of the best heroes against Leshrac, because you push up the lane equally, and you can also farm the jungle, and you have potentially kill potential if the Leshrac gets a little bit greedy. So this is going to be the lane to watch, because if you, like, whatever hero gets the advantage here, they're going to suddenly start playing into the map a little bit quicker. And of course, T1, they need someone to make those moves, right? Like when I mentioned the lack of stuns, and also like the support moves, right? When you have Phoenix, ET as your support duo, you need that core to come and help them out in these early moves. And this is where, you know, a lot of pressure on Carl right now to have that good mid lane against GPK, who is not an easy mid lane to beat, and then to kind of capitalize on that early lead potentially.
No, definitely not. The GPK, one of those titans of the mid lane, definitely going to be a bit tricky trying to, you know, get the edge against him. But you do have some nice situations over on the side of T1. You have a Sand King, you've got a Lina, and you've got the, you know, the Elder Titan that can start to make moves around the map if necessary. If they all kind of move together, I think they can create enough space. But of course, you do have to be very, very careful here in terms of what Virtus Pro is bringing to the table. You have quite a bit of tower push in the form of this Leshrac and, of course, you know, the Lycan. I'm interested, though, do you think this Lycan, because they are on a timer, is he going to just be moving around the map along with the team, or is he going to be doing kind of like the split pushing thing that we've been seeing frequently?
I'd love to see them play around the Lycan, you know, just bring everyone to lane. I think we've seen how Clinkz at minute 15-20, he's able to have Maelstrom, Skadi, maybe even a great game to be very tight. Okay. Very close though. That's the beauty of this mid lane. Like either of them can kill each other, and if that tips to either side, that's when the game can look pretty fun. But going back to your point, It's the fact that Lycan, he wants to play with the Leshrac, wants to play with these heroes and just take those early fights. So I'd honestly rather them do the standard death ball style of Dota where they get that 1 or 2 items and then they go.
These body blocks coming out from
nice.
DM will secure himself the first blood as he murders 23 Sav.
Oh, look at that. He's like, oh, that was me. That's me.
Face.
I got tipped. Oh, look at me. Look at him. He's very happy with himself.
Top lane will land a stomp over on the Clinkz. We'll try to put some damage over here onto Nightfall. It's a decent amount. They need like maybe one more punch. Do they have it? Can they break the angle? Oh, this is how low was that?
I was like, I think 12 HP. Well, my eyesight's pretty bad, so it could have been 13, but give or take.
Gotta get glasses, dude.
Yeah, don't worry. Very soon, I will go to the Ukrainian opticians and learn the alphabet so I can take the test.
I can't wait for the low blind caster coming up here.
The fun thing about this,
Here we go. Here's the replay.
All right, okay. Impact play. It is one of the biggest impact plays of the game so far.
Right, here we go.
Oh, actually, it was like 8.
Maybe a little bit even
that was
low.
an 8.
Yeah.
That was a good 8.
Oh my word.
I was
what
mild.
a save from Kingslayer there. He was absolutely toast. Otherwise. Uh-oh, and it looks like Kingslayer will get chased away here. It's gonna be all right. But this Elder Titan Zephyr, he hits very hard.
And this is the potency, of course, of ET, I think. When people, I think, in agreement, people were asking about why the team's not like the first ban hero. And I think it's the idea that it's a very strong hero. If you find the farm, get a cheeky kill. This is going to help in that, ability to get to the point which I'm about to mention. But it's the idea that when you have items, you're one of the strongest heroes on the map. But before then, you're kind of a creep. You don't really push out lanes. You need to have help. And Venge, like, they have a good right click, but they can easily get bullied. And I think that's why T1 aren't too scared. They pick up a very strong laner in the ET because you have that additional armor from your spirit. You can get on top, you can club them down. So yeah, I really like the creativity of unlocking the 4 role in this game. Because if you had some more traditional 4, some like ranged hero, they wouldn't really be able to do much in this lane. So yeah, I like the fact that they try and fully enable Carl, get Zephyr. Because if these two have a good start to the game, then sure, they pair with a Lina doing well. It could look good. But this is the first game where we're going to see PL into Clinkz. Like, when Clinkz was popularized in this tournament, PL was like the default ban every team's done so far. So this, again, we mentioned VP. They're using this game kind of like a scrim. They're taking first pick. They're already secured first place. In multiple interviews, they've said, like, they will use official games to learn things. And this, to me, it feels like they are trying to learn. Like, how is Clinkz against PL potentially? Because they left it throughout the entire ban phase, like offering T1 to play it. So I'm excited to see, how good PL can just potentially destroy Clinkz.
I mean, that's also just the fun of a new patch in general, is being able to see, some of these heroes, maybe not necessarily like super busted, but definitely very, very powerful given the right circumstances, and trying to figure out exactly what is the play. How do you slow these guys down if they somehow make it through the draft?
And just to explain why PL is good against Clinkz, it's the fact that you're a illusion hero where you can jump on top of the backline and you can kind of make the fights quite messy. Also with Diffusal, you take away Clinkz's mana, so he's not able to always, kite in and out of the fights. He's kind of committed. I think the main question mark that maybe VP are looking to answer is, if we actually connect the barrage on PL and the illusions, can we not just kill him anyways? Like old style Clinkz, you're trying to lock onto the real one.
Right.
But now it's like you have this AoE spell, right?
Right.
So it is very much like, I've not seen it yet. I've not seen any Clinkz v PL. So maybe on old patch PL would slaughter him, but the new barrage, it could be the answer.
Carl's gonna need some teleports to come in here as fast as possible. The stomp coming here from Zephyr will enable him to stay alive a little bit longer. He's gonna be able to bottle through. Save over on the side. Whiteman to fly forward. Can they slow down to get long enough? Yes, that's the last click coming in from Carl as his supports make a good rotation. But you can see immediately VP, they're going to punish Cuckoo up here in this top lane because he doesn't have any sort of support or help.
Really nice rotation from T1. And I think as well, we saw in the Alliance game previously where the supports were actively trying to buy 4 stars against the Clinkz. And I'd like to see that as well, where T1 maybe on the ET, the Phoenix, of course, sanking after Blink, 1 tank item, just get 2 or 3 4-stars. Because when VP, when they rely on like that 1 Venge stun, that 1 Lion stun, if you get that hero away from the Clinkz barrage, you're going to remove like 50% of this big damage VP is going to rely on. So a cheap item could be the counter to Clinkz again.
Lots of theory crafting going on.
Yeah, sorry.
For sure. No, it's good. It's good. This is what people want to hear, They're trying to figure out, how am I supposed to deal with this? Because I'm sure it's popping up in everybody's pubs right now. sure they've had enough of that nonsense, but save a little bit off the mark here. As a Cuckoo follow up, but they do have Dust. They've got 3 heroes.
Sleep. Yep.
And it's a great sleep coming out from Zephyr.
Yeah, again, they mentioned it on the panel, right? The reason for the ET pick, outside the laning that I mentioned earlier, is the fact that he can disengage from the big fights.
A little bit short there, but final hit from GPK.
Hold up, all right. Is it too soon to request a second highlight? Because that was a beautiful little dodge on the LSA. Maybe we don't need to see it, but that was...
Oh, no, have you been nice enough to the production?
Ooh, I mean, we have cinnamon buns upstairs if you'd like to go for one.
Are you bribing the production right now?
No, Moxie. But yeah, there's 2 Oh, thank you. Cinnamon buns upstairs, okay? Look at this. The Tumbler's toy. Hold up, ready? Carl turns around, goes for the LSA. Woo! See ya! Turn. Beautiful. Am I right? Out of 10, Moxie, please.
It is very, very nice.
Anything shy of 11, I'll be a little bit upset with you.
You're going to have to be a little upset with me.
But okay, either way.
It was very cool, though.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Thank you.
It is nice to see these new neutrals coming into play.
Oh, yeah.
I hope we haven't missed anything super big.
Nah.
It's
a farm game. That's why I've kind of been, maybe theory crafting a little bit here, because with heroes like Clinkz, you need time, 15 minutes. Like this game is going to be, the real question is what's PL going to go for? Is he going to go for a straight diffusal blade to try and mirror the 15-20 minute timing VP will look to have? Because once again, Clinkz, he's going to buy Maelstrom, he's going to buy Skadi, Lycan, Helm of the Overlord, Leshrac, a Shroud. When they have hit all these items, they're actually going for bots, maybe bots BKB, but still, they're going to try and group up, get that first Aegis, take that fight, and then they're going to sweep across the map non-stop and make T1 feel under pressure. So I'd love to see T1 itemize maybe for some cheap items, because they have some devastating team fight, but they have to hit like the best sleep, the best burrow strike. It's a lot of intricacy for them.
Whitemon forced to Icarus dive away, but GPK chasing after him. Got the lightning. He's looking to land that split earth, and he's going to just burst down as much as he can. But again, another beautiful sleep coming out from Zephyr. Is going to just allow him to flap those little wings away.
Does he have like bots or something? Like he's always in the right place at the right time. Like, yeah, this ET really just kind of reading the map right now, making sure he's able to just stop this early aggression. Like 1 or 2 kills here, it instantly unlocks like the tower plus something else. And luckily they're able to stem the bleeding on the kills, only keeping it to 3 deaths on T1 so far. And VP, they are trying to slowly group up.
This is a very high-tempo lineup, though, coming out from VP.
Yep.
And they're making all the right moves so far. We've had some really good saves coming out from Zephyr over on T1 rather, but it just feels like they haven't been able to do anything that they want. They haven't been able to make that space. It's always a response, which is what I'm a bit worried about.
But that's kind of what they need, though. I think, like, you saw how Team Spirit, when they have Medusa lineups, they're the ones actively making plays. Like, T1, they are living for the counterplay. Like, with their heroes, they want to play near their towers, and they kind of want to bait VP into trying to take, like, an early tier 2, where maybe Clinkz is farming Ancients, you wipe them as 5, and then you can make that play. So within the next 5 to 6 minutes, we are going to see T1 give up space of the map and then select the best fight for them to choose. And it's also a product where you don't really get to counter rotate and take towers. Like their heroes, no one's really hitting tower right now. They're able to take top tier 1 because of the catapult wave, but they're going to be, I think mid tier 1 is going to be the big moment where you want to see T1 be proactive. That's going to be the play. They defend it first and then look to maybe take a fight after. But this game, it's a slow burner. Both teams, they need a couple of items on their cores. There isn't that natural hero where with a couple levels they're running around the jungle like a tiny or something. And yeah, this is why, with mode farm, it's just very relaxing.
I think it's also very telling the fact that Cuckoo is getting closer and closer towards that Blink Dagger. Has picked up the epicenter now, and I think once that comes into play, we'll probably see a smoke come out from the side of T1, because they do need to be making that space for 23 Savage so he can just farm up, hit creeps, and also not just be worried about DM constantly pressuring their towers along with the Leshrac.
Yeah, and the idea of that is when that blink comes online, I'd love to see the smoke playing into that bottom radiant ward where they have. They've not put it near the river where there's going to be like a fringe dire sentry to catch it. It's a very deep radiant ward, and that's where maybe if Lycan pokes his head in, they can kill him. So I'd love to see that smoke, but just kind of punish the greediness where VP, all of their cores, they want to farm like pretty much the entire map, right? And right now they've kind of got 2/3 of the map, and that's where T1 need to open it up, because they're not stopping Clinkz farming. Like, look at him, 7.1k net worth right now. He is having a glorious time as he's already got the Maelstrom, soon to be the Dragon Lance.
To a future of
I'm just so floored with how fast this new Clinkz can actually just farm. It's unreal when you consider, you know, what he was before this patch.
It's a Clinkz who can farm Ancients. I never thought I'd say that in my life. It doesn't feel right. The hero is really good at like executing and slaying single heroes, and then they were like, you know what? Let's allow him to farm so I can do it quicker. Again, I'm a support player. I always get disgruntled when these heroes get buffed a little bit more. I'm happy Spectre's not in the patch though. What else is there? What do I hate? I hate Slark, but he's kind of in and out.
Some of the items that are very good on him actually got buffed, so it's not really.
Here is the mid defense. This is what we're talking about. Does T1 actually value defending this tower? They are using Fortify, Sanking, TPing in. That must mean the Blink's online. The Blink's online. They have the smoke. It's all come together, Moxie.
Yeah, they walk their spirit through over here. Just trying to get the information. The epicenter starts to get channeled. They're looking for the perfect angle right now. Jumps forward immediately over onto Nightfall. The swap though coming out from Kingslayer. Beautiful job. Are they going to be able to take down the Venge? Yes, they are safe. Forced to run away. The stomp comes out. The egg. Everybody just wants to run away from it. So Save now running from 23 Savage, but caught in pursuit. GPK gonna make sure that he can cover the escape. Over on the side though, they went and they found Nightfall again. This is not looking good for the Clinkz. They need a little bit more damage. The Dragon comes through from Carl. They don't need any detection.
That was really nice from T1, right? The idea that they understand VP's game plan, which is slowly, methodically move from tower to tower. They bide their time. Sanking doesn't rotate for these early engagements. Gets that quick blink dagger that we mentioned, using that smoke. And then, yeah, they get the chase out kill. I guess they might be a little upset that they didn't maybe defend the tier 1 for one more fight. It's a very easy tower to bait these bigger engagements, but the fact that they're able to finally kill off the Clinkz, prevent him from farming for a little bit, they'll be happy with that.
They'll continue to farm up over around their triangle. You can see over here, though, the LSA comes through.
It's probably rather close, isn't it?
There is no dust on him, but Carl just at the last second with that Dragon Slave just nips him right on the buff.
Does he react? No, it doesn't.
It's a little like, oh well. Almost made it out, right? We've all had those moments.
That's true. Oh yeah. I'm so used to VP's, you know, winning games. I was like, wait, he got the... Oh no, he was undying. Of course he's not going to be happy. Yeah, my bad.
And he had quite the record during DPC Season 2.
That, like, a lot of these Eastern European core players, they've had stints where during their DPC run or qualifier run, they just got undefeated, unkilled for like multiple games in a row, which is a very weird feat. It's either a question mark to a region, maybe the disparity in teams and how good some of them are, or how good these players are, but for sure.
Yes, unkilled.
Imagine that, playing multiple like pro games in a row and saying, I just can't die.
I feel like that puts a little bit of pressure on you, though, right? It's like when you have a very high win streak on your streak counter in Dota, you've got like, 22 wins. GPK already teleporting out. They have the vision over on Save. I don't believe anyone is going to be able to save him this time because he is just left all alone and they have way too much damage. So Carl will collect a kill on Save.
Yeah, and right now I'd like to highlight the Lycan 7.30B. They increased the cost of the Helmet Overlord by 250 gold, which meant the item was picked up not at minute 15, but instead minute 16:30. And I just don't think that's a big enough nerf to remove that idea.
Savage. Immediately going to... Oh, the swap comes out. GP... Oh, my goodness. Look at this damage.
Yeah, that was a very nice swap there. Instantly knowing the real one. I think that's... like, so basically what you can do against these illusion heroes, if you double click on their portrait, it locks your camera on them. So even if they manta, doppel, or whatever, your camera will still somewhat move to the center of that illusion. So when it gets messy like that, I'd like to assume that maybe they were making that, or it was just like a very minute kind of click of the PL to guess.
Well, I mean, they knew which one originally before he went for that move, and at this point, the amount, like you said, these are two teams that are playing an awful lot of pubs. They play a lot of Dota. They eat, live, sleep, breathe everything with their Dota. So I'm guessing that they probably just had a really good idea. I don't think they took the time to double click on a portrait. They might.
I'll load up the replay, Moxie.
Okay.
If they did, I feel great. If they didn't, pulling a calm, just saying random words.
Yeah, that's fine. He does that all the time.
To be fair, that is actually a really good play. Like, legit. More should do it. Very cool.
Ooh,
Like this
center, and they wipe out save. Oh, they even went for the splitter on that.
Yeah, like any kill's a kill right now. And I think, you know, as soon as VP loses a hero, be it for 25 seconds, 30 seconds, that does buy enough time. Like PL, he's trying to go for, he's got the defusal, go for the manta, get the heart. When he's that tanky, he's going to look to maybe take the fight. Is he? Oh, he's not even going for the heart. He's going for the ESl1, which I think I like, of course, because you're playing into this like immense wave clear. It doesn't matter about having a manta. It's literally pointless. You just want to have raw HP, get tankier, make sure Leshrac, if he wants to run into another fight and try and kill your illusions, he's going to have to eat through this like 2,000-3,000 effective HP. So yeah, I think PL, when he gets to this point, that's the real part of the game where T1's going to look to make plays. I think VP, that's why they're smoking up. They feel like, not that they're under pressure, but they're not owning enough of the map right now. You have Lycan, you have Leshrac, but you've only taken 2 towers. And that is a product of T1 having these excellent defenses around their objectives.
We do have that Helm of the Overlord online now, though, for DM. And I have a feeling we'll be seeing plenty of pushing going down this area. You can see also the other side of Virtus Pro, they are already getting into position, making sure that they are all the exits and entrances covered as they walk right past Whitemon here. The Icarus dive away. Don't quite have that vision just yet, but this is looking like this tower might be going their way. The smoke play coming out from T1. A little tumbler toy forward here from Whitemon. Nice little spike coming out from Save. It looks like it doesn't connect. Go for the shapeshift. DM wanting to finish off the tower. Now they're on the hunt. But he immediately followed up with the egg. Save takes the Laguna Blade to a face. That's going to feel pretty bad, but they do need to back off. This egg is about to pop. And I don't want to get caught by T1.
VP just need to escape here. Like, every time they take a tower, if they're only trading a support kill with this type of lineup, they should be really happy. And the reason why that went so well for VP is because they cut in very deep at the start of their engagement, utilizing the tree line to find the Phoenix, make sure he had to dive defensively. And then they also had a very aggressive ward, so they could see that rotation in. They sacrificed Save. They maybe could have killed Lina if they like overcommitted, but of course they're disciplined. They don't need to make these plays. Take the tower. That's the name of the game. Scardy's soon complete. 400 gold away, and it's like a raid. Only a hero played with Clinkz, and I think Nigma of course played it with Terrorblade. So when people start realizing the strength of that ultimate, we could see it rise in popularity a little bit.
We're back in the game, and unfortunately, Zephyr is not going to be allowed to play the game when we unpause because he is, of course, dead in Nightfall. And VP have really taken over this whole area of the Radiant jungle.
Ooh.
They're just taking away the resources, continuing the pressure. There's a double damage room that's about to get picked up, too.
And you see Phoenix, he's telling to push out top lane, because right now how T1 is playing, they're collectively all farming the jungle, and there's not like that immense pressure. And the nicest way to play against like any push strategy is they need to bring 4 to 5 heroes to an area to take over an objective. Right. And when you have heroes like Terrorblade, like PL, Sand King, they're heroes that can kind of go play on the opposite side of the map and force that Deathfall style lineup to look in 2 directions, and that is the most difficult thing to do. Like if you're trying to take a tower or take Roshan, but then you're looking at your own tower hitting, taking damage, or the creeps going in, it feels impossible to pretty much do everything. Like you can't really smoke, and I think that's where you see Phoenix. He's drawing that line. It's like, guys, right now we need to just play more of the map. Like we're under pressure, but let's not play their game. Like we know that we need to farm more items. We know we're a very defensive lineup. Don't fall victim to that. So yeah, I really like the kind of the development of T1 as they keep trying to improve, and now they're smoking up. They got the SMY on and the diffuser on PL.
I've also got the BKB online for Carl, and I believe we saw another Yule's picked up Radiant as well. So they've got a lot of nice items. See if they're going to be able to make something out of this, as they have placed 23 Savage very forward here. And you can see that Save is around the area. It is, of course, just a support, so he jumps forward. He's going to be a little cheeky, but look at this. Everybody shows up, and that's a very dead Save. But now they know as well that there was a smoke coming into play, and they know exactly where everyone on T1 is. So you can see GPK making the move, and Carl has teleported out. Does have boots to travel, though, so can be in there in a pinch.
Yeah, Save is often the player that he'll AFK in the tree line to make sure he always hits a 2-3 man impale.
He did so cheaply.
You know, exactly, and then he just, if you looked at the minimap, there was no one there. a bit weird, but again, didn't really lead into anything. T1.
Swap over onto Whiteman. There'll be no egg, no time for you at all. The Thunder Hide is on its way over. 23 Savage. I don't think they're going to be catch him. They have nothing to stop that teleport, but Zephyr is taking some decent damage here from this Frenzy creep. As GPK, he's got the BKB online. He's just going to chase after him, burn away, and should be able to get the kill on the Elder Titan. Just have to be a little bit careful. Oh, he's dove a bit far, and it looks like he's going to get punished for that green because he is obliterated by Cuckoo. Going with the Yules over on the side. Kingslayer looking for this opening here. It's going to take a little bit. They need just one more hit of damage, or maybe two actually coming from this bench, but they're not going to be able to find it because he's dove too far and they have too much lockdown. So Kingslayer will fall to 23 Savage.
And Save blinking in again at the tail end of the fight.
Oh, they're still.
Yeah, he came on in.
Okay, bye, Save.
Top tower is under attack.
So breaking down the initial play from Save and that blinking onto the PL, it's very much like a vision-based play. Like you mentioned, it's the idea that he wants to see our people behind tier 1. He has buyback as well, so they can contest Roshan. Team then chase into the jungle, and VP, they get a couple kills. They do a really nice swap play to kill Phoenix, and then they do that chase down. I think T1 for sure, they'll be very happy with that. And the main takeaway from this is T1 is now deciding to play in this area because they want to try and get one better kill, be it like a Leshrac or the Lycan, and then it's the Roshan. You get the Aegis on the PL. He's not going to care about this 16-second cooldown barrage. He's going to run straight through it. Sure, he might go to half HP or whatever, but he's going to be able to take the fight. So yeah, T1 right now, even though their defensive lineup that doesn't really make moves and they can only react, they can react and position really well and fortify a Roshan fight. So we're going to be looking at Roshan probably on the cards in the upcoming minutes.
You can see they're already throwing a scan out, just trying to get any information if anyone's around the pit. It does clip over onto Whiteman. They're not actually going for that rush just yet. I think that Nightfall is hoping that he can finish with the BKB before the next engagement. They will smoke up over on the side of VP and look for a little bit of a pick here. They do see some of the PL illusions, but he has already vacated the premises as T1 is grouped very tightly together. They go for their own smoke.
I love to say it. Smoke on smoke action.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures.
You're not wrong, Carl. Look at this. A little bit up on the high ground here. They have a tiny bit of advantage. Whiteman dropping over to the side. They see 23 Savage. They're going to try to make the play. The Phoenix going in though with the egg, and they use the epicenter over on the back line. Kingslayer taking so much damage, so he will fall. Nightfall already died to Carl. The egg pops, and DM is forced to run away from the triangle. Save is hiding over on the side.
Try to kill.
Appropriate voice line, but that means that this Roshan belongs to T1.
An absolutely beautiful smoke from T1 because they fully wrap around. And the main thing here is when you smoke, you need to have observers and sentries. You need to check the high ground areas where you're playing, and then as you sweep in, you cover yourself when you break the smoke with that high ground ward. And as you see on this mini-map, the route in which they took is plastered with radiant sentries. They have this radiant ward as you see to the left-hand side on that cliff. Like, they had everything. And VP, how they try taking the fight, they run straight into the tri-camp, but they disconnect. Like, by the point in which the fight starts, you've got Lion placing this aggressive ward here where Save's now playing underneath it, but Clinkz is all the way by the camp. So yeah, I think VP getting a little bit comfortable with their positioning, whilst T1 fully on the ball, fully like respecting the basic mechanisms of how to utilize a smoke and really now punishing VP. And this is where the game can feel a little bit uncomfortable, because VP, they were the ones meant to be forcing the defense, forcing the kind of come fight us at Roshan, come do like use your spells and we'll kite them out. But when you smoke like that, you're gonna have to beat and pick off any lineup. And they get the D ward.
Well, they spotted that Save was sitting over there with the couriers. I was a little surprised to see that he was still over in that area. I'm not sure if he was hoping to get like some sort of courier snipe or whatnot, because he did end up, I believe, revealing himself going after the Phoenix's courier. But he immediately teleports out, and oh dear, there he is, the Derpy Dragon.
Luckily for T1, even though the Helm of the Overlord is a very busted hero, PL and of course, pretty much any carry can slaughter an Ancient. I think the big issue, and even Lina can. So they actually have 2 or 3 ways to deal with it. It's not like one of those drafts where it's only one core that can do it. So, oh, guys, got to bring that core over. But still, it's very annoying to have to bring your core to the lane of one creep. Like, it's not even like a hero that's doing the pushing. And most likely in 7.3C, we're probably going to see some nerfs that actually hit the item itself, not just the the gold spent buying the item.
How would you balance this item other than just the gold? Is it too much that he gets health and the damage on the dominated creep, or does that just need to be adjusted?
Yeah, I think the base attack damage is too much for like these creeps. It feels like some creeps it's a DD. Like right now, look at
Yes.
just slaughtering them. Of course, he's got the fiery spells and he's doing it that way. But I think the main thing is when you buy these items to control neutrals, you're utilizing the neutral spells. So you can make neutral spells better to try and go. If you can micro and utilize and understand the jungle, that's cool. But making the creep just a raw right clicker, I think it defeats the point of understanding the item. It's like if you're a Chen or an Ench player, you're understanding the entire jungle. And right now, this item, it's like you pick it up, you A-click down the lane, it's like, haha, you're gonna take a tower if you don't think about it. And I think just simple physical damage is not the way that you want to use jungle creeps, or it shouldn't be the way that you use jungle creeps.
This one dragon is actually doing so much by just retreating behind that tree every single time. Although DM is forced to use the shift to run away. But every time that a creep wave shows up, this dragon just hops in, nukes the wave, and this is allowing them to just stroll on in. Yeah, look at this. He's got his favorite tree. Life is good for this dragon.
Yeah,
and someone's got to come back and deal with this eventually.
And the really nice play about this, if you hover on the cast range of Fireball, does he have to leave the tree? Of course he doesn't have to leave that little tree spot. He is a completely,
I think
invisible.
he does anyways, usually.
Oh, he might be cheeky, but it's just the idea that
Goku.
Beautiful.
Already blinking away.
Yeah, right now, PL, he's having a jolly... Okay, does he leave the tree?
They know he's there. They have to have seen him multiple times. And they do ping it out this time, so I think someone will go and deal with it. Looks like Carl might be headed that way. Nope, never mind. Carl's just going to farm up his camps.
Because there's not a creep wave there, because T1 just pushed in and took the tier 1 and stole the creep wave, of course now. Like, I guess the real question here is, they're playing this bottom side of the map. So it's not like the Tundra game, where you've got the dragon and a creep wave hitting the tower. Like, they're playing the side of the map, so it's like, sure, skip every wave. We don't care, because we're also skipping your wave.
Thought he was going to go after the courier too, but no. Okay, here's
now
Carl.
Carl's turned up. Hi, Carl.
It's like, look at this, though. Like, it's ridiculous. He's leading him on a merry chase. Eventually he's going to get him, but... It feels like it's way too much time that is being spent to chase that.
Again, luckily it's a Lina with boots of travel, has the right click. It was like maybe 10 seconds. She was already walking back to base, but you can see how if it wasn't a Lina, if it wasn't this PL hero, how busted it can be. Luckily it's not looking too broken just because T1 now, they are expertly playing around, skipping the correct waves. And this PL, he is a absolute, a raid boss right now. He's got the Refusal, the SMI, the Heart, and Aegis about to complete Basher. I mean, this is the real kind of, I guess, the learning point for me specifically is how does Clinkz Barrage fare against the PL with all the illusions in front of him? Like, I'm yet to see it because, again, it's been banned out every time Clink's been played. So it will be interesting to see, can PL survive through that barrage? I would expect he should be fine. It's a hero with high armor. Again, yet to see it in practice, and that's the beauty of Dota. Most things on paper sound good, but then you play it in the game and you're like, oh, shouldn't buy 7 Midases. Doesn't work out.
This seems interesting because if you go and you look at Zephyr's items, he's opted to go for the phase boot stick, but he also has a black king bar as one of his main items finished up here.
Yeah, there's a lot of
no utility really or anything. He just the whole idea is for him to survive in these fights so he can get off all of his spells. How do you feel about that?
I honestly don't mind it because, when you look at T1's lineup, there's not really a lot of heroes that want to run in, right? Sand King's a re-initiator, Lina needs to be protected, Phoenix wants to get the good egg off. And PL's not the hero that wants to run in first, and we get a kind of a slight test and see what Clinkz VPL will look like. It didn't look too great for Clinkz. But yeah, I like the fact that the ET, he can now just be a frontliner. He can just kind of throw himself into the fight, save Blinks in to catch the Lina here.
Okay, a swap. A bit more time. Cuckoo following up with a nice stun. As the BKB comes out from Carl, he is allowed to live today, and 23 Savage is looking to get himself something in return, but Kingslayer will just be able to teleport out, and now this dragon is gotta move. God, this guy's so fast. Look how fast he is.
Yeah, and VP, they had to use...
TM's just down here, joining up with his pets.
Well, this is the only play he has, right? It's like when you use your ultimate on Lycan, it's like, oh wait, we can't take a fight now. Gotta go split push. And luckily Carl's in the area to try and fend off, but again, the good old dragon. Carl's like, I don't want to waste my time here. How Save's been playing, where he's always just been randomly blinking in. He's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be here. There's probably a save in the tree.
There's always someone else creeping nearby, whether it's Nightfall, whether it's Save.
Some annoying guy trying to kill me relentlessly. But yeah, VP, they've kind of squandered the last two smoke plays, or at least the initiating plays for pickoffs. And because of that, T1 is now instantly jumping across the map. They skip bot wave again. A really important thing. You play against Clinkz, you play against these Lycans, you have to skip the wave that they're playing in.
They have to go home and deal with Nightfall.
They're going to get him. They have a gem.
That's right, they have the gem. Save is here, though. He's going to buy a bit more time, but that sleep connecting off to the side. EM also around. The Howl, and already VP says that's enough. We've got them off our tier 2. Let's just go and teleport home. They used to scan, but they've already left the area.
And this is why you see 23 Savage.
You see the Maelstrom proc over on the side?
Yes, I hope so. And this is why you see 23 Savage going for the Abyssal Blade, right? Like that fight there, you have the really nice Barrow Strike. Guys, I got the Clinkz. You then use the Stomp. It's like, guys, I got the Clinkz. And then they look at each other like, but I'm a Phoenix, I ain't doing anything here. And that's why the PL, once he gets the Abyssal, they're going to be able to take these bigger fights where they're not relying just on the Lina or the Sand King to try and connect. And VP, like, they've struggled to find these kills, but it's why they're still playing with confidence, because they know, like, there's no real way they kill us unless we're, like, heavily out of position and we get chain CC from, like, the 3 stuns in the game. But again, VP has to respect how scary T1 is becoming now, because if you ever are out of position, GPK, for example, BKBing to enter the fight to get on top of PL, that's when you suddenly have that counterplay potential. And T1, they will be so strong in these fights if they are long and drawn out and they can get rid of VP's BKBs.
Actually, the only thing I could think of when you're going through like the whole, you know, I've done my stun, and they look at Phoenix. Just the meme about, you know, well, I did this. You guys are getting stuns?
Yeah.
Like, sort of the deal. But again, this dragon is just continuously making its way downtown to the base.
Again, if it didn't have the damage...
And it forces everybody home. Look at this.
If the crit didn't have this bonus damage, they wouldn't be really interested in back.
Oh, that's a miniature Ravage coming out as they clean through. They find themselves the true PL. The Hex swap coming out. 23 Savage immediately. Doppelganger running to the safety of the egg. Can he get away fast enough? He absolutely cannot. Kingslayer taking too much damage here. He's going to be the next one to fall. As Cuckoo also getting picked off. Save over here on the side. This goes right back in again. He does indeed fall for this, but they'll be able to go and clean up on Carl Zephyr with the BKB. And it's going to allow him to run, but it's not going to allow him to stay alive. That's another kill for DM.
And that was all because of the dragon. It simply was. Because the dragon forces the TP into bot. As soon as they TP bot, they're now jumping on the PL top lane. PL thinks he's tanky enough, but he doesn't have the Aegis anymore, which means he just goes down.
He has to be so careful here. They do have buyback on 3 heroes, but look at this. Look at the split push coming out. GPK over in the bottom lane. He's able to do quite a bit of damage. Nightfall's going to come join him. Lina is back up. Carl looking for the opening. Epicenter starts to get channeled. Cancel it out. The damage, though, over on this BKB Carl, it's a lot. In fact, they'll have to turn their attention now to Nightfall. Another buyback coming out from the Phoenix. They've dusted him. They need to follow up with the LSA. Will connect. They should be able to get this kill, as they'll expend 2 buybacks on the side of T1.
So yeah, we see the start of this fight. You have Zephyr and Carl trying to kill off this Black Dragon, but then instantly in top lane with the Earth Spike and then the barrage of the Clinkz, you're able to instantly clear off all the illusions, locate the real PL, you swap him back into an awkward position. Doppelganger isn't going to help you because you're doppling underneath the Leshrac, and that alone, like, this is a masterclass on when you can't really fight a team. Split push and trying to manipulate the numbers of the fight is how you win the game. And Helm of the Overlord, broken item in concept, it will always force a rotation. They bide their time, they wait, and because of that, they get the kills. Look at him, he's happy, like, we're doing it.
That's a pleased man right there, yes.
He's pinging just the Black Dragon, like, you are 6th man. Imagine that. Helm of the Overlord number 2, so it's an upgrade version. Your coach can control it.
Alright, well, they're taking Earth, but they're losing buildings as they get the kill on Cuckoo. He fought back, I believe, earlier.
And they got a Rax.
The rack, BKB coming out from Carl and Zephyr, but they have forward splitter coming out. It's just too much damage for GPK to have to deal with. So he does indeed pay for taking that building.
VP do need to be careful right now because sure they gave away Roshan, but the way in which they're throwing their bodies at racks, it does feel like that we're meant to push, guys. We can push, and I think of course that's just a trade-off because when you lose your Clinkz and he's dead for 100, no buyback, you know they're going to be able to gain that instant objective, which is Roshan, something which is uncontested for the 2nd time. But then, yeah, GPK trying to push the limit a little bit and die. It's not going to really lead into anything else, but the fact that T1's able to get 2 Aegises in a row is going to make them feel pretty comfortable. And VP, again, they're going to just keep split pushing. DM needs to get the Black Dragon again to send it to the lane that T1's playing in. And we're going to see another split push game, waiting for the Aegis to expire and then play some Dota. Unless T1's heavily out of position and then they can just try and take a quick fight. But for now, back to split push, boys.
Do you like that taunt? No, it's definitely one of my favorites that's up there. My favorite is the clockwork.
Anything with musical cues is very good.
I don't think it has a musical cue, but it definitely it has like a little like robotic noise that makes like something. It's my impression. Thank you.
The Arc Warden one's pretty good as well, right? Have you seen
that?
So it's like the top hat and the old dancing thing, and then like you buy Mantle and Arc Warden, and then use the clone. So then you have like 7 Arc Wardens or something, and you press the taunt, and then all of them are doing it. It's like Wraith King using it with the boys. It's very good. But Arc Warden's a dead hero. Yeah,
It's so silly. At least the clockwork one kind of makes sense because he's a little robot.
Yeah, I have no idea why Arc Warden suddenly got a top hat and a cane, but alas.
Someone at Valve liked it. The end of the story.
I'm British now for sure.
With your Savage just cleaning up all these creeps over here in the mid lane. They go for a smoke play immediately after. It's like they're thinking that they can find BM possibly. He's hiding in the tree lane. Couple munches here. He thinks that it's safe. He's got to be very careful though because the Yules comes out. Carl setting up with the LSA. They use the Laguna. They should be able to follow up the Burrow Strike here from Ku, and it's a dead DM.
That was
A little bit ambitious, that's for sure, but again, it's in such a like defensive position in regards to the map. Yeah, like it's T1 has to instantly run across the map to make anything from this. Again, not great. A little bit of a feed. That's I guess that's the easiest way to say it. So VP, they're in a position where T1 want to capitalize on that death and then run to hit these tier 2s. VP's already playing top, so it forces T1 to then we can't push. We got to go defend. And again, yeah, VP just kind of like throwing bodies right now just to make T1 keep looking backwards. Like when there is an Aegis on the field, you want them to take these like pointless fights that have no meaning. So then if they ever come to like high ground or they're trying to make an aggressive play, it's when the Aegis is expiring. It's like them respawning in 26 seconds. They fortified these creep waves coming to the tier 2. Like they actually feel pretty comfortable. But still, it was a little bit of a feed.
Middle tower has fallen.
But not the biggest. Like a casual feed.
I think a feed's a feed, so
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you're making an insane amount of space. But Nightfall already pushing into the buildings here, waiting for that moment because they need people to come back. And there's the egg. They get the stun. Save is soaking most of this damage here. They follow up. And yeah, they'll be able to get out the Clinkz, but Save will die to Carl.
Yeah, if I was PR right there, no, sorry, if I was Clinkz right there, I'd be tipping safe because this lad, blinks in, forces the Clinkz out of the engagement, allows him to be TP, but also he stuns the PL, he has the basher. If he was able to lock onto the Clinkz potentially, he could have bashed in there, and then that's going to be a completely different story.
They had the vision, they had the ward over on the side. They know that there is no save to save him this time around.
Where's the ancient creep?
Where's the
Oh, nope, the wolves mid lane.
Oh, they see him though.
There isn't one. He doesn't have one out yet because, of course, he died, and then as he respawned, he'd already found the camp. You can find him?
Through the trees.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, they'll be able to find themselves the Lycan, and they'll be able to remove him from the map.
DM has had a lot of time to think about this game in the last couple minutes because, again, he's been dead. And, yeah, that might mean when they respawn, they're going to be able to make a play. But T1, this is uncomfortable, right? They're making these moves, they're running across the map, they are killing people. It's not as if they're instantly turning it into something. Oh, we get to watch DM die again.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
They kill the Lycan.
Exactly,
it does feel very good. Like when a patch drops and you know exactly what the best hero is, or like the annoying heroes, there is something that like, it's like inside you that makes you happy. It's like, yes, we got him. It's like, I hate playing against like Bounty Hunter, Visage, like these annoying heroes. When you finally kill him, feels great. VP though, smoking up, and the Lycan's not alive. He's gonna find a casual.
Oh gosh, yeah, look how fast he melts.
Yeah, he died in like, not even 2 seconds.
Less than 2 seconds for sure.
You fought well.
That's a solid second.
mean, that was just a lot of damage. Well, I'm gonna try to take out save here, and they'll be able to find it quite easily. GPK looking for this opening, does have the BKB up and running. They get the stun off over onto the wrong PL here. Nice LSA, followed up with the Laguna. GPK has to run away as fast as possible. The egg does go up over on the other side. And a BB egg again coming out here, as now they're forcing just Virtus Pro to run away. Kingslayer taking too much damage. As they'll take him out, they'll take down Cuckoo. And look at this, 23 Savage. He is a big, scary cat, man. He turns right back around again. There's so many heroes here. This is a little bit scary. He's out of heart. He really wants to get the kill on Save, but he's not going to be able to do it. He's just too far away from the rest of his team.
Absolutely beautiful kite from VP there. You had the Venge swapping, using that damage reduction onto the Leshrac. And then, of course, he had the Aghanims. When they finally did kill off the Venge, it's like, surprise, I'm still alive. And then 23 Savage, he put himself in that position. He doesn't have that BKB. So as he continues to walk into the fight, he feels like he's clawing into his, oh, I can't get out now. And yeah, VP, a lot of damage in a quick moment.
Look at this, the swap over onto Whitemon plus the magic missile at the stop. Coming through, does protect Whitemon a little bit longer. Nightfall looking for this finishing off here. Couple clicks though coming out from the bed.
They got the click.
Kill to use the splitter over on the back lines. GPK running around here, does take a decent amount of damage here from Carl, and that's not going to be able to do anything with the Satanic if you're going to be stunned up and just absolutely removed from the game. It's a triple kill now for GPK. Team wipe on the side of T1.
Oh, that's shard on Leshrac.
Oh my gosh.
Again, not change it.
They're just going to finish.
Go for it. Oh, this is it. This is the confident play. Like PL in that position, he would be buybacking under the threat of
Carl
Lina
just got
going
back.
in.
He's got to be careful though, because they're just running right after him. Not going to be able to quite land that Earth Spike, but they'll land the split.
Oh, look at this. They know the PL doesn't have
Or buyback now.
All right, now get out. Run away. Oh, Clinkz buyback.
Oh, it jumps forward immediately, and they've got the BKB looking for this opening. All right, they'll be able to take down Save. DM now running out. Mew starts channeling. The swap coming out from Kingslayer. Carl has to be careful to go with the epicenter. It's just Kingslayer left over here on the side. So even if he goes down here, it is, of course, just the support. But they do need to remove him because he's just so darn annoying, especially with those acts like we talked about. There's many creatures, though, in the space.
The Clinkz have, like, he did have, oh no. So Nightfall bought back, but I assume as he bought back, he realized his TP was on cooldown. So the entire play there was built around the idea that Nightfall dies, but don't worry, I'll buy back, instantly get the kill. PL still dead for 20, we'll win the game. But because the TP is on cooldown as he buys the bots, the entire play is squandered. So yeah, unfortunately for VP, they go for this very, like, commanding play, but it's all scuppered by a single TP. And now because of that, T1 potentially able to get Roshan.
This is pretty needed here, as they do have two heroes on the side of VP that are down for the count. Do have buyback, of course, over on Kingslayer, but Carl is just shredding through this Roshan very quickly, and no one else on the side of VP is in the general vicinity. So that is going to be an Aegis picked up here for Carl. They have the Aghanim's Blessing on top of that, but they're going to hand it off to the Sand King, and I like this play.
Yeah, they need to have that lockdown, so you give it to the Sand King, increase that range, and just allow him to have a bit of fun. And that entire, like, get us out of the game play from VP, and the fact that Clinkz bought back, Lina bought back as well, but Lina gets the Aegis. T1 are going to be super confident. Even though they have two racks down, they're going to be in a pretty happy position. And right now, VP, they have to decide, do they go for the one big fight, kill off the PL, and then hope he doesn't have buyback? Again, he does have buyback. So VP right now, they have to be so delicate with how they approach this. They could just go mode split push again. Every time T1, they've got 3 Aegises in this game on T1. VP has every time resorted to split push, waiting for the perfect fight. And they kind of need to do that again, because their Clinkz, he's kind of out of commission for the next 6 minutes. If Clinkz dies, this game is just over.
Be very careful, like you said, in the positioning and the fights that they choose to take, and T1's got to hope that VP gets a little sloppy here, maybe gets a little too overconfident.
And like, these racks, they are exposed. Radiant doesn't have buyback. So if VP are able to get a wave into the base, they're going to be able to sacrifice, you know, the Lycan, he has buyback. They could sacrifice maybe the Leshrac, he has buyback. Because if they get the mega creeps and they only lose one hero, it's going to be pretty good for them, as long as they don't, you know...
Carl showing on the wave.
No, he's chilling. He's got the Aegis. Ooh, are they gonna? They shouldn't go for this. He has the Aegis. Very close to
He's
the
backing
base.
off. They back off. They go for a smoke play. They're going to try to comb through this triangle and see if anybody is lurking. Go through. That's the right. Ships passing in the night. Carl revealing himself. Kingslayer still very close nearby.
We have the dragon in bot lane.
Dragon in the bot lane.
The real question is DM going to try and make this play where as that wave goes in, his team takes the fight top, he goes to mega creeps, and they'll trade like Lesh for the mega creeps.
Look at this. Kingslayer is TPing right on over. They go for the egg play.
Wow.
A little bit twitchy there, I think, on the side of T1. Again, they do have the refresher on Phoenix, so if needed, they can pop another one, but...
I respect that though from T1 because they can see the spot wave slowly pushing in, and Cuckoo is positioned here very ready as 23 Savage.
23 Savage is hunting.
Is he gonna, there it is.
He is hunting this Lycan, and he should be able to get this kill. It's just trapped over the
can't
green.
get
Get out!
And that's why all dogs should have boots, because imagine if it's fake boots. That's such a pointless moment.
That was, yeah.
Please invest into yourself so you can escape that one play that occurred at 48 minutes.
I thought you were going to be cheeky and be like, how the tables have turned. The cat has gone and hunted Lina right there. Follow up the burrow striking for Cuckoo. Not enough. So that is the Aegis down. BKB getting popped from Nightfall. He's just going to eliminate this Phoenix. Cuckoo with his own BKB. Lina's back up and running. Do they try to go in for this again? No. Everyone else is here. And I believe that Kingslayer is staying alone just a little bit too long as he does die. And they just have to rip apart that illusion that gets left behind. Nightfall already, though, in the bot lane, pushing out. Going to make them respond, so they're not able to do any of their own pushing on top of this. Just have the sheep stick completed.
The funny thing there would have been if the Venge instantly bought back to, oh guys, let's go fight. And of course, if you buy back, you'd spawn on your illusion. And after killing the illusion, if he respawns and kills himself again.
Carl's like, not another one of these damn
Kill off the dragons. Yeah.
Got a Daedalus online, of course, has picked up the Wind Waker a couple minutes prior. But this is the problem, is that someone always has to head home over on the side of T1. You need to get a really good fight where you take out just multiple heroes. Don't have buyback, don't have boots to travel, and
but you can see how
so
VP,
hard.
they identify how they want to win this game, but it's just T1 is doing an excellent job at finding that necessary pickoff to prevent that setup to occur. Like VP, they want to force the fight top, they want to have that hero split pushing another lane, and then Lycan or Clinkz will like Wolf hit the tower, and the Wolf itself doesn't draw aggro on the tower either. So if the bite or the cripple occurs, it is 60 attack speed lost on a tower. Like that means that one creep wave is able to do quite a lot of damage. So yeah, overall, very good shard.
Remember when that first came out and people were like, that doesn't seem like something good, you're just putting more farm on the map.
Yeah, I remember when it first came out, it was like multiple wolves. Like it was, but it didn't have the passive. But the passive addition in 7.3, that's some good stuff. What's the buyback situation for Clinkz? How far away is he? 1:44, yeah.
They're biding their time. We do get the overwhelming blink picked up now for Leshrek. So more ways to get in the middle of these fights, dish out all of that.
White munch.
Oh, geez, all right. We didn't even get a chance to even see him. It just evaporates. Frenzy creep. He's now doing some scouting, running right on through. I see that Ku has that double damage. I'll see which one to see savages.
The key thing here for T1 is they're able to survive long enough when they have Fortify back up again. Like that window where they didn't have Fortify, and if DM didn't get picked off bottom, if they didn't take that fight top, like VP could have quite easily got mega creeps. And you see here, Lycan, he already bought back, and he bought a Desolate. Like they all end on this play of gonna get mega creeps in this window where they used Fortify. But T1 expertly, like I said already, found the pickoffs, made the plays, kept themselves in the game. They do have buyback in Phoenix, so they aren't too worried right now with this middle engagement.
At this point, we might as well hold on for another 9 minutes or so and get to the higher tier items. But oh, look at the jump immediately from Ku. There's a lot of damage. The epicenter save will die immediately, as will Kingslayer. A nice find here coming out from the side of T1.
filling off both the supports, and T1, this is what I mean, they're so confident now. They've got all the items that they need to play the game. If you want to, you know, rewind 55 minutes from the game back to the panel part, like, this is what they were talking about in regards to the big team fight and how it is so prominent, because they have no fears. When you have this many items, when you have the ESl1 PL, VP have to be so delicate with how they play, and I think VP for sure. They had that window to make the play, and now they need to kind of recover and potentially contest a Roshan. Going into that 4th Aegis, they haven't really been able to make the play around it, and of course at 52 minutes, playing into ET Phoenix Sand King, contesting Roshan is, it's not really on the cards, but...
Unless you can just burst down very quickly. Oh, it was a bait coming out immediately with the Sunray Egg. Nightfall taking too much damage. They just split him in half, and GPK is also dead. Both of the cores on the side of VP eliminated in a very tidy debate.
They didn't have BKB. VP very comfortable with split pushing, but when they entered that moment, it was like a 12-second cooldown on the Clinkz BKB. That is a lot, and look at the damage from ET. Whew. Like PL and Lina weren't even there. That was just a simple Cuckoo plus the supports just coming on in, cleaning up the position 1 and 2 of VP at 52 minutes. T1 are a team, you know, throughout the major, for all the tournaments that they played recently. You never really count them out. They are one of the best teams, and why they were able to clean sweep and turn around the grand finals of ESL Summer, because they know how to keep themselves in the game and identify one of the better win conditions.
Let's go with the buyback on GPK. See how much damage 23 Savage and Carl can output here as they start ripping through the buildings. They need a way to clear out all of these illusions. Here, Lance tossed over to GPK. Look at Carl, he's just a chain gun down here on the low ground. Safely hitting, being able to take down that Rax. 23 Savage has made his way over to the other tower here. He wants to try to get as much damage as possible, as the Clinkz is still dead for another 40-something seconds. He does, of course, have buyback, but he's holding it on closely.
The thing here is the bot die wave is pushing into the base, so maybe that could set up for some rat play. T1, they have to look towards the fact that top tier 2 is still alive.
Yeah, there it is. Stop. Nice swap coming out here to protect GPK as he goes. He pops his BKB. Kingslayer, though, stunned up. They don't quite finish him, although these illusions are doing quite a number on Kingslayer. Look, they're making down to the bottom lane. They've got DM. They're running on in. They need to go home now over on the side of T1. They got to get their best. They cancel that. They have the heads. They should be able to go. They burned that Q. Look at DM. 23 Savage is trying to just fight over here with DM. Whitemon is here too, and they're just munching away over at this Ancient as they just continue. The Sunray coming out. Can they slow down DM? It looks like they're going to be able to take down the Lycan, but he has done so much damage, over half the health here on this Ancient.
And the discipline from T1, they didn't even use Glyph. They were able to hold that as well. Like, regeneration. That was close, because like, imagine if like the Clinkz came in as well. That's why they held the fortify, because they realized if Clinkz is there, they have to fortify, then they need to try and make the play. But Roshan about to respond. There we go. Oh, this game is so close.
It's crazy, like, to consider too, because it's a 19k net worth lead going over to T1, but just because of the way that the map has been divided up, it is just so scary for T1 with their Ancient being exposed as it is. VP, though, making their way over to this Roche pit. Whitemon's trying to do some scouting. He has to be very careful, because Nightfall won't do that immediately, but they do have an A on this. Buys a bit more time. Stun comes out. They'll back off. Swap coming out here from Kingslayer. They're gonna just immediately murder the Venge. Does have buyback. 23 Savage making his way over to the pit. They don't have the Elder Titan right now.
Yeah, VP.
They still don't have DM either. Yeah. So this is looking like they're just gonna have to give up the Roshan here over on the side of Virtus Pro.
The 4th one going towards T1, and you see VP. They just want to instantly go bottom, start pushing out the lanes. And this game, the ending is going to be...
Nightfall, 23 Savage, save it's nearby. Do they commit on this? No. They're going to back off. They're going to play it safe. They want their Lycan back up. They want their Vengeful Spirit
Be ready.
I don't know where everybody else is. Oh, Safe's going back in again. Save, he goes in with the Hex. He's just poking. He wants to see. Is the water warm? Already, though, you can see that the teleport boots are coming out from Ku. He's going to protect him. He's going to make sure that they think twice as he's searching over on the side. Doesn't manage to find anyone. They've already backed off the second they saw that teleport coming through.
I'm just really excited because this feels like it's going to be a base race final. Like the way that VP is playing, they can't take that pure fight, and they're going to keep trying to go for split push. And this will be a split screen ending most likely with the Lycan, the Clinkz, and all them TPing in, with them hoping that Lion, Venge, and Lesh can maybe defend their base. Maybe not right now because, you know, the Ancient, you know, we're chilling with the fortified, but be ready. Bam.
Oh, look the way that they're moving around. Beautiful Burrow Strike coming out immediately here. Carl joining into the fight. They'll be able to take down GPK. He's got no buyback. DM now running for his life. He's got that BKB, but it's going to wear out of duration as 23-7 and Carl are just running after this wolf, and he's very, very fast, but they need to try to get something here, try any sort of stun. He's starting to get closed in on this chase, though, starting to slow down. They have the Yules coming through. Carl turning back around with the LSA, and they're able to take down DM. This time, though, he does have the buyback. They're trying to take down this Phoenix Eggs as fast as possible, and they'll be able to fight him with 23 Savage joining back in here with the boots of travel. Starts chasing after Save, and it looks like he's going to get hexed up over on the back line, though. They do have the Vengeful Spirit buyback coming out from the Phoenix. Comes out from DM as well, as Save somehow still alive after everything is said and done. They don't have any vision over here on the side, so Save is going to be able to teleport out.
And it all starts from the fact that they're able to get that excellent pick off on the top lane, and then Save playing so well on this Lion, able to punish the ET and the Phoenix who kind of linger in this area, forcing out now at least the buyback on the Phoenix. And the DM automatically buybacking after that, because again, VP, they don't want to fight. They are just being annoying rats running around the map with their creeps or whatever, they're split pushing the hope to keep this game going. Again, T1, 28k up.
Ku better have that finger ready to be fast here. Kingslayer, though, immediately is it a bait, though, because you have the teleport boots coming out immediately from 23 Savage. They'll just rip them apart. Carl even teleporting on in at the same time.
The difference here now is T1 actually have used Glyph in the last minute and a half.
There are creeps and a Thunderhide making their way into the base. All right, who's going to go teleport back? But look at this.
Radiant's
Look at this little Thunderhide that could. Chipping away at the building. 23 Savage says, stay off my buildings, get off my lawn.
All right. This is the play. It's happening, VP. They're TPing to the same lane together.
Gem laying on the ground. We're reaching that 60-minute mark. I'm almost wondering if they just chill and wait for those items to see if it gives them the edge.
I can't remember when T1 actually used Glyph, because there haven't been a point where VP were actually at the buildings.
Another jump forward immediately over on to Save. 23 Savage is here. It's a good Earth Spike, though. Slow down just a little bit, but the Hex coming through. Save, he's just being chased around in the base. It's gonna fall. Do have buyback on both the supports on the side of VP, and they're going for this finish, so they're gonna buy back on the Lion. Save joining into the fight. They have a big stone golem, man. This extra man in Dota.
Ooh. I think PL doesn't have TP yet. Okay, he just tried using it to its top lane.
Ku pushing out the other lanes. Of course, we have these wolves that constantly join the fight. Look at this army in this bottom lane as they just start climbing their way towards the base. Whitemon's just gonna go do a little dewarding here, trying to remove any sort of information from VP.
To be very clear, if any creeps get into T1's base and VP are aware there is no fortification, they will be able to 100-0 this Ancient with Clinkz, with Lycan. So T1 have to make sure that they're able to, you know, cleanly push out their lanes.
They're not taking any chances.
Exactly.
There's 3 already down here. They're going to rip apart the Stone Golem, and they're going to rip apart the Creep Wave. This is going to be the most frustrating game of Dota for T1 right now, and for VP, because T1 constantly has to be paying attention to the base. They have to constantly keep teleporting, and then, you know, VP constantly trying to just get out of their base, trying to find anything. But we have our next line of neutrals. We got the tier 5s dropping. Let's see if any of these items are going to make a huge, significant difference in this next fight.
Oh, I really do hope VP gets the Book of the Dead just for the...
oh my god.
I just want to see more summons.
Well, we got the Book of the Shadows. We have 1 book. We don't quite have a library yet.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we had another book. What are we seeing for T1?
It's the Apex and the Seer Stone.
Okay.
Currently.
Tank up. Very nice. The vision from Seer Stone is going to be very annoying to deal with, because of course you can find...
They just reclaimed.
The rats.
Smoke play coming out from the side of T1. Ex Machina. A lot of armor.
They smoked to run back to their base because, of course, they weren't seeing
I think
anyone
what they're
VP.
hoping is, someone's going to maybe try to sneak in, perhaps. But we only have 2 of the tier 5s found for both teams so far. What would be the perfect item for both teams, T?
Honestly, for VP, like the Book of the Dead, as much as it's a meme, like I think right now they're not playing normal Dota anymore. Maybe even the Stygian Desolator, they want to just be able to eat through this Ancient. If there isn't Fortify, just go for it. And then for T1, more stun.
Oh,
What
they
is
have
there?
the Book of the Dead over on the side of T1.
It doesn't feel. That's actually kind of a grief. That is a big grief for T1. I'm trying to work like what is the item for. There isn't actually a tier 5. That is very good. Like, Searstone's pretty good, to be fair. Like, Searstone for T1, because you're always able to find the rats, but, like, they just need lockdown. And there isn't a tier 5 item that is like, damn, I'm going to lock that guy down with it.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, for
honestly.
Sure.
This is, of course, the new item, the Arcanist Armor.
Yep.
I haven't heard anyone being too impressed with it, just because by the time that this comes out, it doesn't seem as strong as it could be if it was earlier.
I'd actually say that this armor item for sure would be pretty good for T1 as well, because in the bigger fights, when it's all coming on in, you can just reflect the damage. Like Clinkz can easily kill himself. It's like the idea of like Medusa split shot. Like, when he starts right clicking, maybe not the barrage itself, but I like that too.
A lot of force boots.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Each side now.
yeah, it's going to be good. Going to be able to maybe take away a boot from your inventory, and then
Boots.
and then now you got a whole new item.
I have 3 boots.
And the Woodland Striders.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, trees are kind of boring, right?
Wow, that's weird.
I mean, in Dota, trees in real life, they're amazing. I love breathing.
Stygian Desolator found on the side of EP. So, ooh, and a Giant's Ring for the side of T1.
Oh, look at this big boy in the top lane. This one
That
too.
is a massive cat man right there. Look at him.
Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. He's plowing his face through the trees.
Yeah.
Doesn't care. Oh, that's why it's so beautiful about Giant's Ring. I wish there was more items in the game that like manipulated size.
Look at how bitty Sand. Oh, okay, all right. He trades off.
Is he going for the? Oh, he's going for the Searstone.
Searstone, yeah. Well, now Sand King is basically, the rock. So.
It's interesting he's going for the Searstone. I guess he's got Octarine.
Save, finding an opening. The Hex. Immediately they're going to just try to go and teleport it. Can they do it fast enough? No, they can't. 23 Savage. He's down. Has the buyback.
They used BKBs though.
They did use the BKBs. That was such a fast strike. They couldn't even teleport in fast enough.
But again, the discipline there from VP, because they used the BKBs on an already stunned PL because they respect Cuckoo's positioning.
Right.
And as we see the replay here, like they don't know where anyone's showing right now on T1. So they use the BKBs, they secure the kill. But if they didn't use the BKBs here, they could then poke their heads up and maybe force a buyback. But again, because they do this kill, they're just going to reset, go back as the people in VP's audience starts to grow, as more people realize.
Oh, they have found themselves a little piggy. Ooh. Run away. Vision, that's gonna pop the end. Disco Bro Whitemon. 23 Savage buying back. They get the swap over on Nightfall. He does have a refresher orb. Going to run out of the circle area here. The Hex. Oh, it's almost enough, but it's just a save coming in clutch, living up to his name here. Nightfall is allowed to just run away.
I just realized I like the idea of PL having the Searstone. It's a hero that obviously wants to utilize Phantom Rush and be able to connect on its target. So when they're running away from him,
It's already home. Look at this.
he can do the vision himself. And of course, this game, even though Fortify is up, like Fortify is going to be that awkward thing where you're going to use it, survive for a little bit, but your Ancient will fall. Like when you're this late into the game, either team, if they're given these like 10-12 seconds on Ancient, not even that for VP, they need like 4.5 seconds is going to be my call. That's how quickly this Ancient will fall. If Clinkz and the Lycan with the Venge next to them are clicking at it, it is focused.
Ooh, they're hunting save. They're hunting for more too. Where's the Clinkz somewhere? Body block. He's gonna drop the Hex Crawl immediately, turn back around again. The